meditation song. We Are One on page 28.
We are one with each other as we share the love of the Christ within. We now open our hearts and our minds to receive. We are open, ready, willing, accepting, receiving our great good.
Let's close our eyes for a moment and feel the love in this center, around us, in us, and through us. We are one with this love. We are one with the peace of non-judgment. We are one with all that is God's good. And we share this love with each and every one we meet today, going forward. And we give wonderful thanks that this is so. And so it is. And let's come back with another deep breath of oneness. Bring in, breathe in. And out. Let's open our eyes if we choose. And again, good morning. And my name is Jennifer Allen Prather, and I'm a prayer therapist and inner Christ counselor here at the Teaching of the Inner Christ. And I want to welcome all of you and welcome all of those who are viewers on the internet to this special service on Sunday, the 28th of August. And we are a non-denominational, metaphysical, New Thought, New Age teaching that teaches that each and every person has an inner divinity we call the inner Christ. And we have classes and workshops that help each person who so desires to achieve conscious contact with their own inner divinity, which we call our inner Christ. Also, those who are here in our audience today, if you have any electronic devices, I ask that you please close those so that we can all be uninterrupted in this service. Thank you. We have this time of prayer demonstrations, which are always inspiring to hear. Does anyone here today have a prayer demonstration that they would like to share with us? It can be a parking space that you got.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Ms. Ann.
We have a plumbing issue, which is common in houses like ours, and Richard is fixing it. And I'm just always pleased and amazed to see how he deals with stuff. It's very instructive in setting up to fix things. So I'm really glad. Now our water bill might be less than half the Colorado
Oh.
River.
Thank you. And that's our own Reverend Richard Usel,
Yes.
who is a general contractor who helps us
Oh,
quite a bit
say.
here at the Teaching of the Inner Christ. So we thank you, Ann, and we thank you,
And
Richard.
thank
for that.
Richard.
Are
Which
there
is
any
so-
other demonstrations that anybody would like to report today? All right. Well, we know that our life is a continuous demonstration, and that whenever we're ready, we will share those experiences. We also have what is known as a RUCAT card. RUCAT meaning it's a scientific way that we pray. R is for recognition of God's qualities. U is for our unification of those God qualities. C is claiming what it is that we wish to show up and manifest in our lives. A is the acceptance of that claim, and T is the thanks, giving thanks before we actually see it happen. So we call this Rukat, and during our service we're going to be saying a prayer. So keep in your mind, in your heart, and for those of you here, if you would like to write down your prayer, please keep those, and we will be speaking a prayer on those later on in the service. And right now, we get to sing. So let's stand and sing Peace on Earth on page 1 of our songbooks. Those in the audience, if you know this song, sing along with us.
Everybody could stand up and breathe.
Please stand and let's sing.
Let there be peace on earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father, God as all we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you. Thank you. You're all
Warmed up.
wonderful, warmed up, and ready to go. Christ. We have some things happening at the center today. We have our potluck, which everybody loves. We love food.
Sure.
And so that is happening today after the service for those of us who are here. So thank you for all of those who brought your pots and your luck. We have a book that is featured in our bookstore this month. It's called The Women of Angel Fire. It's by Diane L. Keyes. And it's at a discount this month. And I read it, and it's really very inspirational. There's a 20% discount for a total with tax of $12.98. So it is available, and any one of us can help you with the purchasing of this book. It will be, this is probably going to be the last week that it will be available at a discount. So please see one of us, and we can help you with that. In the coming month, we have several exciting things happening. We have our online class, Inner Sensitivity, taught by Reverend Marianne Kelly and leader teacher Inner Christ Counselor Lenore Withrow, and this is an online class starting September 12th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's Pacific Standard Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. And you can go online to, there is an area, a link for the online class that you can search for this class, and you can sign up. So we invite those who wish to gain conscious contact with their own inner divinity, that experience. It is a life-changing experience. We also have, coming this in September, on Tuesdays from 6:30 until 9:30 here at the Teaching of the Inner Christ, our Prayer Therapy 1 course. The prerequisite is that you should have completed inner sensitivity training and received your certificate. To start it, this is a class that is wonderful for learning how to pray and Reverend Brigitte, would you like to stand and say something about your class?
I'm always looking forward to Prayer Therapy 1 because I think it is important, that we really pray and focus on what we want to receive in life. And so Prayer Therapy 1 is also a review for all those who've had inner sensitivity. And so I'm looking forward to giving that class.
And Reverend Brigitte has taught this class many times, and she's an excellent teacher. Also, we have in September a special guest speaker coming to the Teaching of the Inner Christ on September the 18th. Arthur Hammond, who is a former Unity minister, and he is an excellent speaker, and he has spoken here before. We invite you to come and to bring a member of your family or a friend, and because he is highly inspirational, and that's on September the 18th. And on September the 25th, we will have our all music service, which has always been a hit with many people. And again, bring your friends and family and have them feel the vibration of music through the Teaching of the Inner Christ and the vibration of this center, which is a wonderful vibration. That's September 25th. Are there any other events or announcements at this time? Okay. We now have a very special group. I would like to introduce, they're going to be singing Cover the World. Reverend Kayla Rose Carroll, Patty Moe, and myself, Jennifer Allen Crather, singing Cover the World.
One heart loving another, two hands reaching out. We can cover the world with love. Three voices singing together, one song ringing out. We can cover the world with love. Starting with this moment, we can make a change. If we will love another, maybe they will do the same. Though we have a small voice and just a simple song, let's place it in the heart of another so they can pass it on. It starts with one heart loving another, two hands reaching out. We can cover the world with love. Three voices singing together, one song ringing out. We can
trio.
Thank you.
Our inspirational reading today comes from what we call our love scriptures, the pink books. It's channeled through an anonymous group, the words of Jesus. And the book is called Everlasting Peace, on page 5. Now there is no peace where there is any judging, and there is no peace where there is any pride, any hatred. Therefore, when you seek to know the peace within you, you must go below such things as judging, pride, hatred, and all of their brothers and sisters, such as discouragement, self-depreciation. This is not humility, self-depreciation, criticism of anyone. There is a place in you below these things. And when you seek this peace, and to walk around with this peace and carry it with you, just reach down below all of these stormy concepts and thoughts to the center of your being and say to yourself, peace, peace, be still. Peace, be still. Then you find the storms of emotions within yourself subside, and working outward, the storms around you subside. You have been taught to assert your will and to try to manipulate persons and events outside of yourself. But I say to you, peace begins at the center of your being and works outward, through your emotions, through your physical body, and your mental atmosphere, and from thence out to the persons and events around you. Start from the center. Calm your own storm first. How could you calm the storm without, or in another person, when the storm within you rages? And now to speak to us today about peace and non-judgment in everyday life is one of our dear ministers. She is an ordained minister of the teaching of the Inner Christ. She is a member of the International Executive Board of the Teaching. She is a member of the International Board of Administrators, and she is a teacher. She serves in many capacities here at the Teaching of the Inner Christ. And so please welcome me welcoming Reverend Brigitta, Dr. Brigitta Heimers.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, I brought the same book, and I have almost the same quotes. Peace and non-judgment in everyday life is the title of my talk. And so being on the spiritual path involves a willingness to be constantly available to the call of spirit. The call can be heard in our thoughts, in our feelings, prayers, and also in our actions. As many of you know, my mission here on earth is to pray for peace all over the world. So you can imagine I have been on call continuously. Last few weeks during my visit in Germany and in Switzerland, as these violent events unfolded, first in France, then in Belgium, in Turkey, in Brazil, and lately in Germany. And of course I realize there are many voices praying for peace, but ever more prayers are needed right now. Our gift here at the Teaching of the Inner Christ to the legacy of non-violence is the skillful art of what we call spiritual mind treatment. And all the stages involved in our prayers are affirmative, and they honor life. They clearly demonstrate that their fundamental purpose is to move us forward to our highest spiritual evolution. So when we use our Ruket, it was mentioned before by Inner Christ Counselor Jennifer Praser. When we use our Ruket formula, we believe in working with life and not against life. Our spiritual vision is singular and it is focused. So let us review the words. It doesn't I think we can take another review of those words, because each letter recognizes something different. So the R stands for recognition, where we recognize all that God is. Unification, where we unify with all that God is. The claim, where we state our desire for the prayer. And the acceptance, where we accept what we have claimed. And thanksgiving, where we give thanks in advance for what we have claimed. And of course, I always add in my claim the or better, because sometimes God may have much more for me in store than I can envision at the time. So the or better I add to my claim. Before we release our treatment into universal law, there's no resistance, there's no fighting, no beating up on anyone or anything. We don't rally against any obstacle. Some people call that the devil. But we don't condemn anyone or anything. Each step in our prayer treatment builds consciousness. And each step flows energy positively and powerfully, one word into the next and into the next. So as our word is spoken, our world within us is getting more peaceful. And perhaps you have noticed that when you do your prayer work. It is step number one that we first become very peaceful within ourselves. I find myself most at peace when I do my prayer work. And then I do my prayers often while I'm driving on the freeway, in my car, listening to the news. And this reporting through the media becomes my prayer book in my daily life, because it seems like when you listen to the news, there's always something that needs to have prayer in order to be corrected. Perhaps we remember what the Bible tells us. Quote, it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom." To my way of thinking, it tells me that it is an inside job, because we each want to be at peace within ourselves in everyday life. How do we do that? I think we want to attune our thoughts to the presence of God within in order to receive answers to our questions, or being lifted to a higher level of consciousness. Taking a rest from my regular routine rejuvenates my body and mind, which prepares me for a renewed commitment to my responsibilities in everyday life. So it goes hand in hand. And resting in the silent meditation renews my soul. I can feel that how I'm letting go of anything that has been occupying me. It prepares me to return to my day in a state of peaceful remembrance of God within. This activity of taking a rest here and there surely helped me getting through these last 10 days returning from my trip home from Germany and from Switzerland. There were so many things which needed my attention, but just a few moments in the stillness of my soul restored my sense of peace and calm no matter what was going on around me. And so I brought also that beautiful pink book, we call it lovingly our pink books. These are channeled messages from the present Jesus. And it is called Everlasting Peace. And I think Jennifer was already reading it on page 1, going over to page 2. Jesus said, God's peace includes love. It includes power. It includes righteousness, which means right useness. It includes holiness and wholeness. It is all things made clear. It is light of lights. It is the finest of vibrations. It is center of centers. And it has many more beautiful paragraphs regarding peace. He also says, Jesus says, peace, I give you peace, dear ones. I give you again vibrations of quietness and of peace. I speak to you again, that in peace you may turn from your fears. And that is an important thought. How many times do we carry fear within us? And that fear seems to overwhelm any other thought that we have regarding our WUCAT treatment, for instance. And so he says, I have spoken to you of fear and its idea of separation from the oneness of all, and I shall speak again of this. And so he's telling us, if there would be any sin, it would be to fear. And of course, you know, one of our ministers in Escondido used to define sin as self-inflicted nonsense. Do you remember?
Yes,
Reverend Jeff Spry saying that, self-inflicted nonsense. And that has stayed with me all the time, ever since I heard him say that one time. We are also asked to reach upward. And Jesus says, do not be misled by fear. It is only the inverse appearance of an upward motion of mind. And then he mentions also that man grows through fear to peace. To fear to peace, to fear to peace. So through false to true, through shell to kernel. So he gives us many different examples. And of course, he does say that we should not look to fear as a wall, but as a door to our new contact with eternal peace. And then the last one on that paragraph says, I leave you peace. So he goes very much in detail about all of our situations that we carry with us when we are not aware that fear is actually dampening everything. On page 5 and 6 of the same book, he tells us, now there is no peace where there is any judging, and there is no peace where there is any pride, any hatred. Therefore, when you seek to know the peace within you, you must